Hello, everybody. How's it going out there that's listening, that's watching, that's streaming, that's doing you know what? It's your boy, Chris Seibert, here back at the Chris Seibert Show, week number 7 or siete, whatever you want to call it. We're back, baby. All right, so looking at the analytical data, I guess data referring back to week number 6, last week's podcast episode, both from podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and additionally as well as YouTube. We had 3 total downloads through the portion of downloads, and then we also had 8 total YouTube views, which is awesome. The previous week, I want to say it was like it's at 11 now or something, or even maybe 10. And then following along with this coming week where it's at 8, and then we're still having people download the episode. Man, you guys are awesome. That's what's up. So, yeah, I just really, really appreciate that. Cannot stress and say this enough, but just thank you. I mean, it means the world to me that you literally download, you just watch, and it doesn't have to be that long of a time. Maybe you just watch or listen to a certain point, cut it off, but still the fact that you take the time to listen, stop by, and just hear what I have to say about my life, the stock market, news, my challenge kind of stuff. It really makes me happy, and I appreciate it, and I just thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So again, thanks. But that was the analytical data referring back to week number 6, last Friday's episode, up until this point. Getting into the personal life. So this week, I'm sure you guys have a lot or I guess the number one question would probably be, where have you been, mister? I have not seen a welcome to my weekends video. I have not seen a live stream video, but at least I'm seeing the Chris Seibert Show. No, last weekend, I should say, was extremely, extremely busy. It was Father's Day weekend. I was expecting to go home and get a lot of content because I was going boating again with my family at Lake Schaefer in Indiana, where Indiana Beach is at. But it wasn't as I expected. The boating experience was a whole lot of fun. It was a blast, honestly. But it was just kind of one of those moments where it's like, all right, like just sit back, put the phone down, and just enjoy the time with your family. Because truth be told, I really don't see my family a whole lot. I have been living in India. I want to say I'm getting up to the 6-month mark. Pretty much, yeah, 6-month mark. I don't go home that much anymore, and it's not because I don't dislike my family, but I just love living in India, and I'm having so much fun here. So when I do go home, it's best if I kind of just spend family time. So Friday I was pretty busy. It was a lot of just getting caught up. Saturday was the lake day, and it was just great to just relax and spend that time with my family. And then Sunday I stayed back for Father's Day. My mom made an absolute bomb meal. If you follow me on Snapchat, you probably saw that. I definitely posted a lot of food pictures, bruschetta, lasagna, some salad. Oh my God, it was fantastic. And then I got home pretty late in the evening on Sunday, and I was just like, man, like I'm just going to go to bed. And then I guess mapping out this week entirely, it was I want to put this in the best way I can. This whole month of June, I can't believe tomorrow, or I guess when you listen to this, it's going to be the 26th. But it's literally just been thing after thing after thing after thing, which I enjoy, but at the same time, it can get very fatiguing. If you guys remember at the beginning of the month, Bryce stopped by that weekend, and it was just nonstop, constant fun, staying up late, just getting so excited for our future. The weekend after that, I was in Michigan for not really so much a bachelor party, because that will be coming up in August, but it was more of just a social gathering for friends for a weekend on a lake. So all Saturday I was up north in Michigan. This past weekend was Father's Day weekend, and then this coming weekend, which I will be explaining more towards the end of my personal life segment, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be extremely busy again. So in terms of this week, just mapping it out, it was just like, you know what? Chris Seibert just needs a little bit of a mini vacation. I just need to relax, do just nothing really, no content, just enjoy it. because things are going to be picking up again. That's what this weekend, I'll be explaining it soon. I got a lot of fun plans. Next weekend's the 4th, and we'll talk about that more next week, so I don't really need to just keep spurring off and getting into that. But a lot of this week has just kind of been no YouTube, no nothing, just relaxing. And I watched the new Joker movie one night. I went to bed. I've been going to bed pretty early. Last night I didn't, but I watched the Joker one night. Then yesterday I watched The Parasite. Oh my God, that was so crazy. It was so good. I've just been having me time and really not doing anything and just lounging around, relaxing, kind of getting caught up on rest, if you can understand. But yes, the content will be coming back. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. It was just this past weekend, it was more or less just I wanted to spend time with my family. I did get a little bit of footage, but it was like no more than 4 total minutes. And there was just no point in uploading any of that because it was just so spread out throughout the whole weekend. And it was just kind of like I just need to stop. So yes, starting again on Monday, you should see another Welcome to My Weekends where that'll be happening again. And then Wednesday, I guess. Okay, so I have some more notes. I'll get into the next part. I want to talk about my schedule so that way you guys kind of have an idea, because I feel like a lot of you guys don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. So obviously Friday and Saturday is kind of my gather content for Welcome to My Weekends, go out, do stuff with friends, just kind of combine all that into one video. Sunday, I generally edit that, get caught up on rest, because Friday and Saturday I stay up super early in the morning. Like I stay up most of the evening. So Sunday is just a lot of rest, editing, getting kind of prepped and ready for the work. Also, this includes chores around the apartment if things are dirty, wash the dishes, do laundry, kind of just reboot and refresh everything. So once Monday, the sun rises, I'm at work, ready to go. So that's kind of my Friday, Saturday, Sunday gig. On Monday, Welcome to My Weekends, I usually have it scheduled out to be posted first thing in the morning. Monday through Friday, understand that I work at Festool, and that consumes a good portion, or I guess most chunk of the day, a good chunk of the day. So we're looking at anywhere, why am I even saying that? I start at generally 8:30 now, and then I'm done or at my apartment, or I leave work by 5. Get back to my apartment by 5:30, almost 6, and that's typically a Monday through Friday schedule. In the evenings, that's when I kind of bump into the content segment to where I'm doing stuff for YouTube. So on Mondays, it's more or less my free night. This is where I try to find time to run, exercise, do something in the evening. Tuesday evenings after work, I'll come back to the apartment, chill for a second, maybe fit some time in to like maybe nap, 30, 45 minutes. And then I go and visit my good friend Josh and his wife. And I've been working closely with them with some skits and videos, which I haven't yet to share any of that, but that'll be coming out here in the near future, I promise. We have a good vault of content kind of getting built up right now, so I'm very excited to release those. But that's generally my Tuesday, and that's a good couple hours. So then I'll get back to my apartment a little after 9, maybe take some time for myself, watch one episode or something, just chill, and then I'm in bed by 10, 10:30, asleep by 11. Wednesdays I live stream, and this is crucial. If you guys have been listening up to this point, I want to let you know that I am moving my live streams. What I've done in the past is I've generally started the live stream from 6:30, and I used to go till 8:30, 2-hour live stream. Well, a lot of times no one really showed up, or it was just hard to fit that in people's schedule. And I don't really get a whole lot of viewers. It just kind of depends on, I guess, what people's schedules are. If they want to tune in and watch, not a big deal if they don't. But I'm going to start moving my live stream now to from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. So just a 1-hour block time. I feel like that's later in the evening. It's more easier for me because if I want to run or do something, I can get that done right when I get back from work. So expect that now on Wednesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. I live stream. Thursdays is when I record the podcast. So I upload them and scheduled out for 8 a.m. on Friday morning. But generally speaking, on Thursdays, that's more or less after work. I'm getting my notepad ready of all my talking points, build that out, kind of get my little motivational area if you're watching the video, kind of get this all set up, put the decorations, get my gear all set up, and then I film it. Edit it strictly after that, and then once that's done, I begin the process of uploading it on all platforms, and then I schedule it out for Friday morning. And of course, on Friday, I work. Once I get done working, I come back, and generally by then, I am going somewhere or I have plans, so I kind of get ready, relax, eat some food, and then the weekend begins, and that's when I start filming content. So again, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 is work. Monday mornings is when Welcome to My Weekends is uploaded. Wednesdays is when I live stream now from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday is Welcome to My Weekends, content gathering, Sundays editing. So there's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me, it all works. It's kind of been my routine now since I've started YouTubing again and just kind of building off of it. So that is my schedule. I just wanted to share that with you guys so you know. But it's nice because this week I've gotten a vacation. I've literally I've pulled up like the analytical data and stuff, but other than that, I've just kind of been peeping at the downloads and looking at the stats, and then it's like, all right, I got to find something else to do, kind of get my mind off of it and take a little break. So yes. The next part of my personal life, and this is extremely personal, but it's fun to talk about this because a lot of you guys who I don't talk to regularly probably just are curious. And I feel like this is a big reason as to why you tune in, because you just want to hear what's going on within the past 7 days. Shout out to Hinge. I've not brought up Hinge in a few weeks now, or a couple weeks, I should say, but I'm actually seeing someone. It's interesting. Not the person isn't interesting, but it's interesting because I have been in my own personal bubble for over a year. My last relationship ended in 2018, late 2018, almost 2019, you could say. So it's been a while since I've gotten serious and kind of buckled down. And it's just funny. I'm in like my own little bubble, but she's really sweet. She's really supportive and likes the podcast. She's watched a couple of my videos. She respects it completely. And that's something that I kind of wanted to share too, is for those of you out there that maybe like have your own hobbies, have your own like hustles going on, have your own activities. I don't know. I feel like in the past, for me personally, I've kind of always had to keep the whole YouTube or like stuff like this kind of on the hush because it's not definitely the most attractive thing to say, I feel like, but that could just be me. And a lot of times I have failed because of that. But now that I'm, older, doing well for myself, love doing this, creating content, just doing everything I can, trying to build some revenue streams, have all these different ambitions and goals. It's really important to me, and the fact that she sees that and understands that, it's awesome. But I hope to have her on the podcast one week. Maybe in the next few weeks I can get her on here at some point. She has a wild schedule too, so we'll make some time and fit her in. But no, it's just awesome and exciting, and we'll see what happens. If you don't see her on here in like a month or so, I can bring it up again. But no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. So we'll see how things shake out. And then, of course, the last thing in my personal life that I wanted to bring up this week is this weekend. I talked about it a little bit. I didn't talk about what's happening, but I said I got a fun, exciting weekend coming up. So Bryce is returning again this weekend. He's also bringing his girlfriend, so she kind of gets to scope everything out. See, we got to get her approval, make sure she likes it. And then, of course, I'm also having Ryan, who was Bryce's roommate, I want to say sophomore year, and then we all three moved in together junior and senior year in Muncie at Ball State University. Ryan's going to be crashing with us this weekend here in Broad Ripple. So it's like the gang's all back together again. I should be getting a lot of good content. We're going to try to go out. We don't really have a set amount of plans. Once this podcast is over, I'm going to be texting in a group text with them and kind of reassuring and making sure everything checks out. And today I've been just a person that's been going insane because I've been washing clothes, been doing the dishes, a lot of vacuuming, cleaning, and I'll continue to do those chores once this is over, so everything's nice and clean by the time they arrive tomorrow afternoon once I'm back from work. So it's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be an exciting weekend. It's going to be a very, very busy weekend. A lot of good content's in store. And then what's cool too is the following weekend of the 4th, Independence Day, we'll be seeing each other again, but back in Michigan on the lake. So next couple exciting weekends. I always have something going on, it seems like, but that's good. That's why I have Welcome to My Weekends, because you guys get to see my life. You're introduced to it through the scope of a lens and just see that I'm always doing something and active and fun. So that concludes the personal life, I guess, of the last 7 days for those of you out there. So I hope you guys are all caught up. Just understand I'm not going anywhere. I've just kind of had a mini vacation. For those of you out there that have kind of been like, oh, what's happening to Chris? Is he gone? What's going on? So no, I just wanted to bring that to you guys. Nothing's happening, just a small mini vacation. And I'm seeing someone. So I will continue to update you guys on that. And then hopefully, we can get Holly on here at some point. It'll be really, really interesting, I'm sure. So referring to the next segment, the stock market. I haven't really made any active investments in the last 7 days. The market has been just literally all over the place. It was like at the beginning of the week, I was down to $1,000. Now I'm only down like $700. It's just been volatile. It's been crazy. My dad and I, this is like our thing. We both have Robinhood. We're always talking just about every day about stocks. Such a dad thing to do, but it's just exciting and fun and something that we both have in common and can talk about for a while. But he told me today he sold a lot of his positions just because he thinks the market's going to tank here very soon, and then he'll rebuy back in with the money he made or the profits he made from the stocks he sold. I'm a long-term holder and a long-term investor. Me, not touching anything. I will add to my positions when things go down. I don't want to touch it. But it's been really interesting. Same as always, I'll tell you guys my holdings. Blink, 2,000 shares up to this point. MFA, 900 total shares. SPHD, 64 shares. MITT, 320 shares. And then, of course, EPR, 98 shares. Now, I try to do my best to invest $25 to $100 like weekly, bi-weekly, just depending on what I'm feeling. I did get paid today. I'm salary, so I get paid every 2 weeks. So generally when I get paid, that's when I kind of put in a little bit. But I'm kind of just holding back, kind of vibing off my dad of what he said about the market crashing. It's just been really, really crazy, like I said, these last couple weeks. So I'm kind of just sitting back and kind of waiting before I make another investment. But I'm really eyeing both the marijuana sector, energy, and also tech. It seems like those three items are really hot. So I would like to make a big, bold move and buy some of those things. But again, it's just a matter of kind of sitting back and waiting. I talked about just a second ago how I do bi-weekly investments. Sometimes, I'll throw a big chip on the table and go not all in, but I mean, I'll put a big heavy amount on one and hold it kind of just like a shark, but not really pushing or waiting. Or I would say I'm more waiting, but the stock market's it's been very, very crazy. So for those of you out there that have been investing or still considering investing, please just proceed with caution. Make sure you do your research. I am not a licensed trader. I do all my own research. I use all my own money. This is no one else's money. So if I lose everything, I'm satisfied because I know those are my investments. But yeah, for those of you out there that have been, just kind of watching things, seeing things, thinking about making a move, just proceed with caution and make sure that it's the right move for you. In terms of news, I don't even know really where to begin with this. I did not see a jobs report number this week, and there might have been one, but I guess it just wasn't the head of really a big deal in the headlines. But what is really big, and I've mentioned this, I want to say maybe the past couple weeks, last week, I can't remember at this point in time, but corona cases are starting to surge and pop up again in a lot of big states. I know Arizona, Texas, and Florida were kind of the ones that kind of went all in right out of the beginning. And they're now starting to see the repercussion of that. And it really breaks my heart because supposedly here in the state of Indiana, starting next Saturday, this will be July 4th, Independence Day, everything should be back to 100% capacity just by using social distancing practices. It seems like in the last few weeks, things have started to become more normal. A lot more people are out and about, more cars on the road. Anywhere you go, there seems to be people. But it just breaks my heart because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to go back on lockdown again. But it just kind of breaks my heart. This whole year has been just an honest mess. It just breaks my heart. And then I think, too, I don't, quote me on this, but I think I saw somewhere, too, that Europe has decided to block American tourism or tourists or American citizens from stepping on their soil through travel and vacation or whatever for the time being due to the coronavirus, which honestly, again, just kind of breaks my heart. It does hurt. I know a lot of people out there are against the masks and how everything's just turned political and all of this and that, and it's been really, really a big downer for me. I'm a pretty positive, happy person, but to see when I get on Twitter and I've just decided like I'll get on Twitter for a second. I have a couple bell or notifications, or I don't even know, the post notifications when things like Blink, for example, my biggest holding, I have theirs turned on. I have Andrew Yang's turned on, but when I see a notification that interests me, I'll just like click on it and then like maybe like it or retweet it, and then I'll just get off right away because there's just so much negativity and I just can't do that right now. And it seems like the more and more I spend on Twitter or watching the news, it just really affects my mental mind, my mental health, and it just kind of breaks my heart. So as always, I hope, in the grand scheme of things, the cases back away. We all just get along. We get out of 2020 holding hands and go into 2021 strong. But it's just been a very, very difficult year for a lot of people. I've been very blessed and very fortunate throughout this year with both my job, what's going on in my life. But again, I can't come out and say that. I kind of just got to sit back and watch what unfolds and just kind of ride it just like a bull. It's hard to really take in, but I just thought I would share those two things. So if you're out there, just be cautious, be smart, be safe. But yeah, I guess we'll continue to see next Friday where things are at, because at this point in time, you just kind of got to take things day by day. That's kind of the way I've been going at it. So yeah. Weekly challenge. This past week, again, I did a really good job at the beginning, and then I kind of backed off of it. I always just do that. I don't know why. But this past week's challenge was to make my bed, and I've done a pretty good job at that. One day, I literally forgot to post it. I opened up my camera roll for something. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even post it. Because what I normally would do is I would take the picture or video, I would drive to work, and then I would post it at work. Well, it just so happened that like one day I did it. I was really busy right when I got to the office, so I had to do something, and then I forgot. And then the other day I opened up my camera roll and I was just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So that's it is what it is, I guess, right? But no, that was my past weekend's challenge. This week I'm going to drink 1 bottle of water. It's so funny. I'm going to drink 1 bottle of water a day. That's going to be the CSW challenge. So I'll be posting that on my story. I'm not sure if I'm going to chug it or not, but I hear my mom's really against that. She's like, you can't be chugging water because it'll make you sick. I do it all the time, especially after I run. But maybe I'll just like drink a glass or something and say, this week, I don't know. I try to make it entertaining because I know some people decide to watch my story. I don't know if they skip it or watch the whole thing through. So at least for the amount of short time that I have you guys, I want to make it a little bit enjoyable as always. But yeah, it's going to be just drinking some water. That's going to be my weekly challenge. Got to drink some water each and every day, and I'll just film it and then I'll add it to my story. But yeah, no, that is going to conclude, guys, week number 7 of the Chris Seibert Show. From looking at the time standpoint, I kind of rushed through the stock market news and weekly challenge thing because I felt like my personal life was going to take up the whole time, but it didn't, and I'm really happy it didn't. So I get to kind of just sit here for a second and talk to you guys and kind of just make my closing statements. But I just, again, want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for always and weekly tuning in, downloading both through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, The Chris Seibert Show, tuning in and actually watching on YouTube. Just looking at the data and everything, it's not like I'm there with you guys, but that definitely reassures me and helps me to know, where the cutoff time is, how long did you guys stay, did I hold your attention? But it's just really nice to, continue to keep uploading these and looking back at my life months ago and seeing how things were, what was happening at that point in time. Bryce said it best literally when we were in Michigan. He's just like, dude, it's so cool how you're just creating a timeline of events, like you're creating, like you can go back a certain amount of months and see what you did on that weekend or this, that, and the other. It's just really cool. And the fact, too, that you guys who have been subscribed and staying tuned and watching weekly, commenting, showing support, you guys are kind of just there with me too and watching what's happening over time. And it's cool to see that growth, share that growth, and just continue to keep pumping out content so you guys can enjoy it. But as always, for those of you out there that watch the YouTube video, I haven't said this in a while, but if you have a question or comment, something that's personal or like a Q&A question, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer that in the podcast on the following week. Any other type of, I mean, it can be really anything unless I feel it's a little too personal, then I might not share it, and I'll say why. But I think that's a good way of just communicating. And then also, of course, you have my personal Instagram. Feel free to DM me as always. Follow me on that, the Christopher Seibert. That's my personal YouTube, Instagram, and podcast stuff. But overall, I'm going to end it here. I don't want to keep wasting your guys' time. Thank you so much, as always, for either listening or watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Stay safe. If you're in the stock market, proceed with caution. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video or in the next podcast.